So for today's session, we're going to be doing a little bit more fascial release. So we've done a little bit of it in classes before, using the ball and then also using movements. So I'm going to do a little bit of a recap of what we've done, and then I'm going to just introduce a few other options of how you can do fascial release as well. So you can always go back to it and sort of review it later, see what works for you, see what you want to kind of do as like almost like your own little home program as well. Okay, so I'm in a slightly different setup today. I'm not going to be on the floor. My mat is basically sort of raised up a little bit. So based on what I'm doing, I'm either going to be on the floor or on the bed. You guys are going to be working on your mats as per usual. And then make sure you've got a pillow or a towel if you need any kind of prop for yourself. And then we will be using those little spiky massage balls today as well. All right, guys, any questions before we get going? Everyone good? All right, I'm going to mute the background conversation. And then feel free to send a little message in the chat box if you've got any questions, or you can just unmute yourself as well. All right. Okay, so I want you to come up into a standing position to start off with. And you're just going to place the ball just in front of your feet. So you can be standing on or off the mat. It really doesn't matter. And then line up your toes with each other. Slightly separate them. Just lift your eye line so you're looking towards the horizon. And then inhale as you shrug your shoulders up. Feel how your ribs lift and separate a bit. And then exhale to just glide your shoulder blades down. And then turn your head softly from side to side. Bring your eye line back to the front. And then pause here for a moment and close your eyes or soften your gaze. And taking 5 breaths in and out, just as we give ourselves permission to slow down, to just let go of everything that's happened so far this morning, and letting go of any worries, expectations for this afternoon and the rest of your day. Connect into yourself physically. Notice how your body is feeling this morning. Connect into your energy and notice how your energy is feeling this morning. And perhaps notice if there is a correlation between the two. Take one more deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh. And then blink your eyes open. And we're going to start with a roll down. So when you're ready, look down towards your feet and start rounding your spine over. Just find the weight of your arms, the weight of your crown. Make sure that you're not locking back into the knees. Come all the way down until you feel a comfortable stretch. And then just make sure you're relaxing the back of your neck. Roll all the way back up into standing, pressing into the heels of your feet. Coming all the way up and lifting tall. Now again, shrug your shoulders, inhale. Expanding the ribs, filling lungs. Exhale, soften the neck and shoulders and let your arms relax down. Now bend your knees a fraction. Take your right hand, so I'm going to do mirror image for you, and bring your hand out front with the thumb facing up. Start to open your arm to the side, and then see how far you can spiral around. You can let your knees, hips, and shoulders twist. Make a little marker for yourself where your thumb got to, and then come all the way back to the front, and bring your arm down. Now do the left arm. Bring your arm out in front, and then start to open your arm so you're spiraling around to the left. Notice how far you can go here, Come all the way back around to the front and bring your hand down. Now, put the ball under your right foot. Now again, I'm doing mirror image for you. And start very lightly massaging the sole of your foot. So we're getting that first layer of plantar fascia to release. If you're losing your balance, hold on to something, no big deal. And then floppy foot and start to increase the pressure onto the ball. So this is a little bit more of that focus on the intrinsic muscles of the feet. If you find a spot that feels quite intense, maybe you just want to hold it there and breathe for a little bit. You don't have to keep moving. And now stiffen up your foot and start to do that deep rolling of your foot. So now with that stiff foot and hard pressure on the ball, we're getting into those deep layers of the fascia. And step all the way off. And now switch over to the other side immediately. So it's going to be that light rolling of the foot. Hi, Fina, morning. We've just started with a little bit of foot rolling. So light rolling on the ball, getting all over the foot. And then floppy foot, start to increase the pressure. And make sure that you get over the inside blade of the foot, the outside blade, the heels, the toes. And now keep that hard pressure, but stiffen up your foot. And if it's really painful or uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable, then don't push so hard. This doesn't need to be torturous. And release. And now take a moment to stand evenly on both your feet. We're going to do another roll down from here. So look towards your feet, peeling through your spine. Feel the rounding of your rib cage, the weight of your arms, and just coming as deep into that release as it feels good for you. Notice if there's been any shift, any change in the stretch, and then unravel and come all the way up. Abdominal muscles connecting, rolling all the way up, and lifting tall. Soften your knees. Now let's retest. Bringing your right arm out, thumb sticking up. Start to open your arm, spiraling around, and just notice if there's been an increase in your range. Come all the way back to the front, and your arm comes down. Now let's do the left arm. Thumb reaches up, and massaging out the soles of the feet is also going to affect the spiral line of your body. Coming all the way back to the front and release it down. So I had a big change in range there. Soften your knees, bring your right hand and just let it rest on your head. Starting with your hip. Do a gentle push with your hip to the side. So remember, the image I like to use is that you have a wall beside you that is made of trampoline material. So you're going to let your hip lean into the wall and then you just rebound back. So it's very gentle, there's no jarring movement here. And now we're going to increase this by adding a side bend of the spine. So your hip is still pushing to the side, but you are laterally bending your spine. So the movement's going to become a little bit slower simply because you're doing a bigger range here perhaps. Keep breathing. So we're opening the lateral line of fascia here, focusing on that right side. And now we're going to add some tensioning with the arm. So it's that reach and then soften. Reach and then soften. And let's just take two more. You can keep the small if that's what your body needs, especially if you've got back issues. Reach, come all the way up, and just pause here for a moment. Close your eyes, and just notice how that right side of your body is feeling. Is there any difference for you? And then blink your eyes open. Soften the knees, and now your left arm, just let it settle on your head. Let's start with the hip. So the lateral line comes all the way down the side from the neck around the shoulder, over the side of the ribs and the waist, and then it goes down over the hip and down the side of the leg. So it's that lower half that we're busy focusing on right now, just letting the hip push to the side. And then when you're ready, add a side bending of the spine. So now we're starting to move everything that's around the torso and the rib cage. Not just the muscles, but also internally. All the fascia around your lungs, the diaphragm. Make the movement big or small, it's completely up to you. And now let's add some tensioning with that top arm. And release. And release. We're going to do 2 more. Remember to breathe. 1 more time. Come all the way up. And just hold it here for a moment. Close your eyes. Notice how the left side of your body is feeling. Blink your eyes open, and we finish with 1 more roll down. Take a breath in, and then breathe out as you look down towards your feet, peeling through your spine. Heavy arms, heavy head, stretching all the way over. And when you reach the bottom, pause, relax the back of your neck, take an inhale, and then exhale and start to unravel, using abdominals as you come all the way up and lifting tall. Take a moment to roll your shoulders back and around. So you're going to come into a seated position at the front of your mats. And you just want to have a little ball beside you, so it's easy access for you. I'm just going to leave mine right there. Bending your knees, sitting up as straight as you can, separate your legs a little bit, and taking both arms out in front. Inhale, find energy through your crown. Breathe out as you draw your tail under, and it's that feeling of scooping your abdominals away from your thighs. Take a little breath, and curl forward. Lift up tall. And again, draw your tail under. Feel that rounding of your spine. Exhale, draw forward. And lift up tall. We're going to do 2 more. Draw your tail under. Pause, breathing in. And forward. Lift up. 1 more time. Draw your tailbone under, and this time we're going to stop and hold it. If you need to hold on to your legs, feel free to do so. I want you to flex your ankles, keeping your heels connected to the ground, and then I want you to press your feet back flat. So as you lift your toes up, this is called dorsiflexion of the ankle and the foot. And then as you press your feet down, that's called plantarflexion of the ankle and the foot. We go dorsiflexion, switches on the front line of fascia. Press your toes down, switches on the back line of fascia. 2 more. Curl the toes back. Notice the loading on your body. And release. 1 more time, lift your toes up. And release. You roll all the way down onto your backs. Help yourself if you need to. And allow your arms to settle. Walk your feet a little bit closer in towards you. And we're going to do 3 pelvic curls. Take a breath in, tilting your hips. Start rolling up in towards a bridge position. And you really want to feel that lift from the base of your pelvis here. Double check that you're not straining into the lower back. And then work your way down through your spine. Imprint and release at the bottom. 2 more times. Feel free to move your feet and your arms however you need to. Take a breath in, relaxing into the back of your neck and throat. And ripple down, placing each vertebra consciously, connecting. And this is the last one. Tilting hips. Rolling up into your bridge position. Pause here for a moment. And then we get to ripple down through the spine. And release right here. Just hug your right knee in towards your chest for a moment. And then slip your hands behind your leg, flexing your foot. And on your breath out, pressing up and away through the heel of the foot. Maybe you can straighten, maybe not, it doesn't matter. And release. We're going to take 3 more. Feel the weight of your pelvis on the ground. And release. 2 more. Head and shoulders easy. And release. 1 more time. Press up. Now bend your knee very slightly and hold it here. Holding onto the back of your leg, help yourself turn your thigh in and out. Keep dorsiflexing the foot. So you're doing almost a wiping movement of the sole of your foot on the ceiling above you. It's almost like you're cleaning a little patch of the ceiling. Internal, external rotation. So this is a little bit of a hamstring glide as we do this movement from the hip joints. Last 2. Last 1. Come back to the center. 1 more final stretch up through the heel of the foot. And then bend your knee and placing that foot down. Hug your left leg in towards you. Stay here for a moment. Hands behind your thigh. Flexing ankle. And we breathe out. Press up and away through the heel. And release. And again. And release. Last 1. And now soften your knee very slightly. Keep flexing the foot. Hold onto the back of your leg. And then guide yourself. So you can use your hands to help you internally and externally rotate from the hip. So our hamstrings muscles at the back here are actually 3 muscles that work together. And they're all connected by fascia. So what we're doing is helping them slip and slide and glide over each other. Last 2. Last 1. Come back to the center. Straighten your leg as much as you can. And then bend your knee and placing your foot down. Now, take your little massage ball. Lift your hips up so you can just slide it underneath your sacrum. So it's a little bit lower than your lower back. Okay, find your sacrum, get yourself nice and centered, and then just roll a little bit from side to side. So you're rolling across the ball from side to side. And I did mention this in class the other day, but this is an area of fascia where it can get really quite locked because we have a lot of workload that comes across the sacrum and across the lower back. So there's quite wide, thick fascia across this area. And this is such a huge release for a lot of us, especially if you have lower back issues. And then come to the center and just hold it there. So we're just going to stay here for 3 breaths in and out. We're not going to move. We're just really giving our weight onto that ball. And now on your next breath, you can lift your hips up and you can slide the ball out and just place it beside you again. And if you lie flat down now, close your eyes for a moment. And how does it feel? Has there been a release or a shift for you? Now blink your eyes open and up into our pelvic curl we go. Tilting hips, rolling up, feeling that lovely lift from the base of the pelvis. Take a breath in, and then ripple down through your spine, softening all the way through each vertebra, and release at the bottom. It should feel so smooth and easy now. 2 more, rolling up. And we released our hamstrings earlier along with the sacrum, and hopefully it's facilitating this articulation. 1 more time. Rolling hips all the way up. This time, guys, we're going to stay here. So pause for a moment. Take your hands and lightly cup your bum cheeks. Make sure that they're doing something. Start to stand on your right foot, keeping your pelvis level. Start to put all your body weight on the right foot. Can you lift up your left leg and hold it here? And we're just going to do a little bit of a lowering of the pelvis and then press up again. Just a little bit of a drop and then press up. 3 more. So we're really targeting gluteus maximus here. And hopefully we can feel it really effectively because we release the lower back and we release the hamstrings. So hopefully this works. Hold it, and then ever so gracefully, place your foot down. Stabilize. Feeling the left gluteal, put a little bit of pressure on the left foot. Nothing rocks and rolls through the hips. And then can you stand on the left leg and bring that right foot up this time? A little bit of a lowering of the hips and press up again. 4 more. Keeping it controlled. Last 2. Wakey, wakey gluteals. Hopefully everybody's feeling it. And press up, hold it. Placing that foot down. Stay here. Can you reach both hands up to the ceiling above your chest? And we start to ripple down through the spine. Imprint. And release. Make any adjustments you need to your leg position, your foot position, and then open your arms wide. Inhale. Exhale. Connecting each fingertip to its partner. Breathing in. Expand, don't rest, hover. And then lift up and slow down so that you can be very mindful of your movement. 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. 1 more time. Inhale, expand wide. Exhale, lift up, and now interlock your fingers, hands go underneath your head, and we're ready for a chest lift. Do a little bit of a wiggle of your spine so you really create space for yourself. Get your lower back in a happy place. Hover elbows, nod your chin. Breathe out, sliding your ribs forward towards your pelvis. And then lower back down with control. And again, slide forward. And releasing it down. 3 more. Get that sensation of flattening the abdominal wall. And release. Last 2. And release. Last 1. And releasing all the way down. Slide your hands out, taking the massage ball, and you're going to place it at the base of your skull. So it's what's called the occipital bone. You can feel those 2 little bumps at the base of your skull. And then just let your head rest back there. And then start to just nod your chin forwards and then up towards the ceiling. Feel free to move the ball if you need. So again, we have quite a dense strip of fascia that connects our skull onto the top of our spine. And just with our postures nowadays, a lot of people get tension in this area. It can be responsible for a lot of headaches for people. And then center yourself, and now do a little bit of a rolling from side to side. And then come all the way back to the center and just stay there for 3 breaths in and out. Just giving the weight of your head onto the ball. And then on your next breath, you can slip the ball out and just holding it in one hand, we're going to get it in between our shoulder blades on the spine. So I'm going to roll onto my side and just place the ball in between the shoulder blades, and then I'm going to roll onto my back again, and I can put my head comfortably onto the mat here, but you might want to put a cushion underneath your head. Figure out if you need to go up or down a little bit, and then just lie there for a moment. Maybe you want to do like a little wiggle from side to side. So you can feel that your chest is getting pushed upwards. So you're pretty much going into a passive extension of the spine, yeah? And then settle yourself. Make the adjustments that you need, reaching both hands up. And let's just do a few scissor action of the arms. And with the extension of your spine, you might feel that your range has to be a bit smaller than normal. It might be pulling on you a little bit here. So just adjust your range if you need. Bring both hands straight up. Interlock your hands. Place your hands underneath your head and resting down. So we're going into our chest lift again. Nod your chin. Breathe out as you curl forward. Can you feel now that there's almost a pushing down on the ball behind you? And then release that and coming into extension. And again, breathing out. Guys, if the ball doesn't feel good where it is, move it so that it works for you. And releasing that. 3 more. Exhale. We are engaging the front of the body. We are stretching the back line. 2 more. And release. 1 more time. And release. Rolling onto your side. Take the ball out. Put it beside you. And then just lie there for a moment. Get yourself centered. Feel free to close your eyes. And just observe what's happening with your upper body right now. Open your eyes again, bringing both hands all the way up. Turn the palms of your hands to face each other. Now we're going to do a little bit of choreography. Take the right arm overhead and the left arm forward. So you're scissoring. Do 1 more scissor. Hold it here. And then circle the arms all the way around. So you switch to the other side. And now do 2 scissors. Scissor, scissor, big circle all the way around. And we go. Scissor, scissor, and a big circle. Last set. Scissor. Notice how easy this is now that we've taken the ball away. And circle. Bring both hands all the way up. Interlace fingers. Hands go underneath head. And once again, we're going to do another set of chest lift. Get your elbows lifted. Stabilize pelvis. Breathe out as you curl forward. Inhale, release back. How does it feel? Have you got more mobility now that we have released the fascia along the spine? And release. Let's take 2 more. And release. 1 more. And release back. Nicely done. Bring your hands out. Walk your knees and your feet together. So I'm holding onto the edge of the bed, but you can put your hands onto the ground in a low V. Pick up your right leg and cross your right thigh over the left thigh. Roll both knees to the right. Turn your head to look towards the left. And then breathe out as you narrow the waist and use the abdominals to draw back. So it's like you're wringing water out of that sponge. Same side. Roll knees to the right, look to the left. And breathing out as you draw back to the center. Let's take 2 more. So this is a really, really lovely way to start working into the spiral lines of the body. So all of these sort of twisting movements of the spine or any rotational movements of the body are those spiral lines. Exhale, draw back to the center using obliques. And now hold it here. You're going to firm the abdominals and on your breath out, lift both legs up. Stay there. And then lower your legs away from you again with control. So you have to use abdominals here. And again, breathing out. Use your arms to help support. And then lower down with control. 2 more sets. Breathing out, lift. And lower. 1 more time, you can feel the hip flexors working, you can feel the abs getting loaded, and now put your hands on your knees, and then slide your hands to your ankles wherever you need to bring yourself into that piriformis release and stretch. So we're just going to stay here for a moment, we're going to breathe, And then unwind, hug your knees, tuck yourself into that tight little ball shape. And releasing head and shoulders all the way down. Right foot comes down, left thigh over, taking your hands into a nice low V. Roll your knees to the left and look to the right. And then breathe out as you engage abdominals and draw to the center. And again, knees to the left, look to the right. Exhale. Last two. And again, just become aware on your own body if there is a difference between the two sides for you. Last one. Rolling legs to the left, looking to the right. Breathing out, draw back to the center. And you hold it here. Now again, you've got a firm abdominals, bringing your legs up, and then control the movement on the way down. The breathing is important here. So use your breath to help you find connection. And release down. Last two. And release. Last one. Lift up. Placing hands to knees and then bring yourself into your deep hip release. Stay for just a few more seconds. And then unwind. Hug both your knees in. Again, tuck yourself into that tight little ball shape. And then lower yourself all the way down. So we're going to go into our rolling like a ball exercise. Slip your hands behind your thighs, feet together, ankles together. You're going to tuck your head in, find the curve of your spine, and then start off by using your legs to create momentum. Start off with your legs. And then when you don't need your legs anymore, keep them tucked in nice and tight. Remember that you don't want to hit your head or your neck on the ground. So keep your chin tucked in and breathe. Two more. One more. And hold it, balance, and placing feet down. Good. Come and sit sideways in a mermaid seat. I want your right shin at the front, your left shin at the side, and let's go into our mermaid from side to side. So bring your awareness to your hands traveling through space. So don't just hit the end position and hold it. Think about that full movement in between. And notice how it changes the quality of your movement when you change your focus. One more time each way. Come all the way over and then press up and pause here for a moment. Make sure that your right hand is firmly connected to the ground. Palm up on the left hand. We inhale to open up the front arm line. And then we breathe out as we round, bringing your hands towards each other. And again, inhale. Feel that opening across your heart. And exhale. Feel the opening at the back of your heart. So your heart isn't just at the front of your body, at the front of your chest. Front and back. One more time, breathing in. Breathing out. Come all the way back to the center and pause. And then bring yourself upright. Spin yourself around, so you're going to have both your legs over to the other side now. Get a nice comfortable seat. Remember, you can sit on a cushion if you want, by the way. And we go side to side. So once again, seaweed movement. This time, I want you to focus on your hand connecting to the ground. So actually feel the hand on the floor. Feel how it absorbs your body weight, and then feel how it springs you away. And notice the quality of your movement as we change our mental focus here. Feeling your hand to the ground. Last one. Long stretch over, and this time come all the way up. So now you've got your left hand firmly connected, right palm up. We inhale, open up across the heart, and then breathe out as you spiral, bringing your hands towards each other. And again, inhale. And exhale. Listen, let your head, your pelvis, and your hips move with you. Especially if you've got any vulnerable areas along your back, you don't want to lock yourself into place. Allow your body to respond to this movement. Come all the way back to the center. Pause for a moment, and then coming all the way upright. Now you're going to turn onto all fours. So I just want you to have your massage ball ready. You can just put it underneath you if you wish. And you're going to come onto all fours, wrists in a comfortable position, knees in a comfortable position, and you're going to tuck your toes under. So on your next breath, pressing into hands and feet, see if you can lift your knees just up off the ground. There's a feeling of energy through your crown, energy through your tail. Feel all 10 fingertips and all 10 toes connecting into the ground. Take a breath in, and then exhale, lower the knees, and release your feet out. Do one cat stretch, so you're going to round your spine up towards the sky. Sit your hips halfway back, hold it there. Push up onto the tips of the fingers, so you're getting all the pressure off your wrists for a moment. And then if you'd like to, you can do some gentle fascial release, almost that little bit of a trampolining movement. Very soft. One more. Release, put both hands flat, come forward, and lengthen out your spine. Now you're going to take the massage ball and put it underneath one shin. Doesn't matter which one, because you're going to do both. And start to roll along the front of the shin. Now this is a very tight area for me. So this is part of the superficial front line. And every time we walk, this shortens in order to help us lift the toes up. So it can become quite tight on a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure when most of us stretch or when most of us have a massage, we don't really pay attention to this. So it can be quite intense. And then release. Take the ball out. Before you do the other side, just center yourself on all fours. Close your eyes and just feel. How does the side that you've just released feel in comparison? Is there a shift for you? And then you can open your eyes, and now we're going to do the other side. So placing the ball underneath the shin, start to roll it around. Again, can be quite intense. If you actually feel like you want to just sit on a pressure point, like hold it there without moving, then go for it. And then release. And again, just keep the ball close at hand. Come onto all fours. Close your eyes for a moment. And feel the side that you've just released. And then open your eyes. Now turn your fingers outwards. We're going to do both hands at the same time. So just see how far they want to turn back today, because every day is different, right? And then if you want to increase this release around the carpal tunnel, you can sit back, and maybe you even want to add just a gentle pulse. So for a lot of us, the wrists can also be a little bit of a tender area or a bit vulnerable. And especially if you've been doing a lot of weight-bearing work in a class, then it's the wrists that we start to feel instead of the other muscles and joints, right? And let's just take one more. And turning your fingers all the way back. Spreading your fingers out. Tucking toes under. We do one more hovering of the knees. On your breath, pressing knees up. And now, is there a difference for you in your 4-point hover, now that we've released the wrists and now that we've released the front of the shins? Staying here for just a few more moments. Maybe you're feeling the other muscles more. Take a breath, and then lower the knees, release the feet, and then you're going to walk yourself all the way down to lie flat on your bellies. Stay here for a moment. Now I want you to take the ball, and again, it doesn't matter which side you do first. I'm going to do my left hip because then you can see what I'm doing. The ball goes onto the front of the hip. So it's in between the pelvic bone and the pubic bone. It's sort of that little soft spot just in the front. And then put one hand on top of the other. You can keep that toe tucked under on that side. And then you just roll around a little bit. You might need to adjust the position of the ball. You'll figure it out very quickly if you do. And then just stay there. So you want to feel like the ball is gripping the fascia at the front of the hip. Stabilize, and then just straighten that leg. So I am picking up my left knee and thigh, and I'm pushing my left heel away, but I'm keeping my pelvis and my lumbar spine stable, and then release down. And again, press back through the heel. And release. Last two. Last one. And release. And then slide the ball out. You can just keep it on hand. Resting your forehead to one hand, reach back with the other hand, grabbing onto your foot, and just now bringing yourself into a quadricep stretch. And already this might feel better for you than usual because you've opened up the hip flexor. So square shoulders, square pelvis to the ground. Do a little bit of a squeeze with the bum cheeks. And if you are super duper flexible, you might want to bend the elbow. If you're super, super flexible, you can always hover the thigh up a little bit, just to increase it for yourself. Take a breath in, and then releasing your leg all the way back. And now let's do the other side. So taking the ball, placing it into the other hip, resting your hands, resting your head, maybe tucking that back toe, and then just roll around a little bit. And then set yourself up so that the ball can grip the fascia at that hip flexor. On your next breath, straightening the knee. So you're lifting up the knee, pushing the heel away, and releasing down. And again, pressing back through the heel. So make sure that you're stabilizing pelvis and lumbar spine, and release. Last two. Last one. And release. And then you're going to slide the ball out. Put the ball down. Let's go straight into our quadricep stretch. So grabbing onto your foot or your ankle. Set up your alignment with your pelvis and your shoulders, and then do a little squeeze with the gluteals. Intensify it for yourself if you need. And on your next breath, let go and stretch your leg all the way out. And now, take the ball and you're going to place it onto your sternum. So I know some people the other day were saying it's really painful. So if it's too much for you to lie on the ball, then sit upright and just do a manual massage like this, okay? Otherwise, if you're okay with it, just round your upper back and rest your head down. Bend your elbows onto either side of you. Have your legs slightly separated. And then do a little bit of a side-to-side massage. Getting that release along the sternum. And again, this is another area with quite a bit of wide, flat fascia, where all the chest muscles basically connect. And then center yourself. So engage the bum cheeks, hover the tip of your nose. You're going to start coming up into a baby cobra and think about nudging the ball forward with your sternum and then release down and round your back over the ball again. Coming up into baby cobra. Stay for a moment and releasing down. Last two. Nudging the ball forward, energy through the breastbone, energy through the heels. And release. And we're going to do just one more time. Pressing all the way forward with the breastbone. Stay for a moment, take a breath in. And releasing all the way down you come. Good. Just slide the ball out for a moment. We're going to do one more release. But I just want you to rest here. You can put your hands over your head if you want. Let your legs flop. And just feel the width, feel the opening across the front of your body. And now we're going to do a little bit of a front shoulder release. So again, I'm going to do my left shoulder first because that's closest to you. So you want to put the ball on that little soft spot, just on the inside of the actual shoulder joints. Let that arm rest down beside you with the palm facing up, and then rest your head down. So you might need to move around a little bit, get it into a somewhat comfortable spot. And then all you're going to do is lift your arm up and lower your arm down. So again, you are gripping the fascia with the ball, and then with the movement of your arm, you're allowing the muscle to glide underneath. We're just going to do a few more, and then I want to encourage you to play with the movement for yourself to see what works for you. So I often like to bring my arm out to the side and in, and then I also like to almost do a turn of the hand and come back in. That for me feels good. Some of you might want to bend the elbow and do more of that movement, or maybe you even want to put your hand in your lower back and then almost do like a little flapping of the wings. So please just play with it, see what feels good for you. And then come back to the center, slip the ball out. Before you do the other side, just rest down. And notice if there's a difference again between the two sides of your body. And from here, you're going to go to the other side. So placing the ball just under the shoulder joints again. Resting your head down. Put your hand beside you to start off with. And just doing that lift and lower of the arm. So working very specifically on the arm lines, which again, related to our postures nowadays, we tend to get quite locked in these areas. And then again, just play with the movement, what feels good for you. And what you were doing on the first side might actually be quite different from what you're doing on this side. A few more moments. And then release, slide the ball out, and we're going to repeat our cobra. Hover the tip of your nose, placing hands, engage gluteals, and you're going to lift up. I'm inhaling as I come up. And exhale, release down. Inhale, coming up. Breastbone reaching forward. And exhale, down you come. 2 more times. So for myself, I feel much more open. There's nothing holding me back here on the front of my body now as I do my cobra. 1 more time. Breathing in. Exhale, release. Lift your elbows. Push onto your hands and knees. And then open your knees, big toes together. And just let yourself sit back and find a resting position for yourself. So again, there's no right or wrong placement for your knees or for your hips. Taking a few more breaths in and out. And then start to walk your hands back towards your knees and make your way up into a standing position. So I'm just going to come onto the floor. All right, so take a look down at your feet. Get yourself lined up. Let your arms settle. Before we do our roll down, you're going to inhale to shrug. Feel your breath moving into lungs and ribs, and exhale. Take another inhale to create space. And on your breath, look towards your feet. Start rolling through your spine. Softening your knees, coming all the way forward. Observing how your body feels now. Take a breath in. Exhale, back up you come. Abs connecting, gluteals connecting. Lifting all the way up and roll your shoulders back. Nicely done, everyone. How do you feel? All good, I hope.
Hello.
Fantastic. So did you guys notice sort of big areas of release for yourselves?
Yes.
Yeah. How was it on your shoulders, Fina? I deliberately put that one in for you to see if it helped with the shoulder.
So much. I actually couldn't believe it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So I'm going to send this link to everyone, but it's a really good one for you to review. And you just lie on your stomach and you just give yourself that little bit of a release under the shoulders. I'm sure it'll help.
It is absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic. And for me, as always, it's my sacrum. I can never get over how tight my sacrum gets, and I don't even realize it. Sacrum and lower back, hey? Yeah.
Fabulous, Renee. Thank you so much. Have a lovely
You're so welcome, guys. Have an amazing weekend. No class tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, but there will be a class on Sunday at 11.
Perfect.
Okay, but only Zoom, eh?
Yes, exactly. Well, yes, it'll be on Zoom. I don't think I'm going to be in the studio because the vegan market is here on Sunday. I think it's going to be sheer chaos. So I think Zoom's going to be the class on Sunday.
Okay, cool. See you.
Okay.
Enjoy your Saturday. Cheers, Renee.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome to
Bye-bye.
see
Thank you,
Bye.
Renee.
What a cute little puppy, Ali.
This is my brother's dog.
Sweet.
Aw.
Oh, he's too cute. I love his little beard. He looks like me. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.